Welcome back to Franky Ace Show, along with my special guest, Lance Warlock, and I hope you enjoyed the hide-and-seek theme song, courtesy of John Ottman. And now as we move on from another composer, well, here's another composer. This guy's very famous, Alan Silverstreet.
You know what? I'm seeing, depending on the age of your listeners, you might have recognized some of his stuff from the Tales from the Crypt series.
Yep. Plus, Back to the Future, E.T., and Forrest Gump, of course.
There's a few in there that you might have remembered. I don't know. Yeah. Forrest Gump was pretty well known. Yeah, that's not a bad body of work. Once again, you know what I find, too, is there's a few guys that I have to, once I see their name, I sometimes will misplace where they fell. What did they do? And then I look them back up and remember. And Alan did do all the Back to the Futures. He did another movie that my dad actually had a really big part in, which was The Abyss.
Okay.
And then, of course, what you will find, I think, is a lot of stuff like, well, one of my favorites in the animation that came out a few years ago was The Polar Express.
Yep.
And that movie, to me, just was absolutely incredible. And Alan did all of that. And that we went out and actually I had bought the CD after that, which I'm more notorious for is my stack of collections from different composers, whether it's a specific film, whether it's like the best of Alan, Johnny and Jack, whatever. Obviously, these guys have such a great deal of work that, once again, I think it's hard to say, oh, every time I hear this, I know that it's this person or that person.
Yeah.
But, as soon as you say, oh, by the way, he did Lilo and Stitch, another kid's movie, oh, all the parents go, yep, saw it, we know it. But yet he did The Mummy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and Castaway, see? Well, there you go.
So he's done so much, and the guy, he, to be able to do something like that and fluctuate a different style, because, once again, just like when we were talking about Danny Elfman, he kind of falls around that, big icon of the 80s and 90s. And, I mean, even though he is still big today, but more big for more of the popular films that we all grew up on,
Yeah, I think so, too. I think it can be really tricky. For me, even, I find these guys, when you read their body of work and you go from something as fun and as kooky as it could be in a Lilo and Stitch just because it's animation and there's almost no rules, to something as serious as Castaway, it's pretty amazing, the diversity, too, that some of these composers have. But then again, that's why they have so many credits.
Yeah, that's basically about right, because, I mean, even like what we were saying, I mean, all these movies, that have helped these people become icons of the movie scores, it seems like sometimes people tend to forget sometimes, who does the music or why there is music to begin with. But, yeah, Alan, I tell you, with everything that he's done, and you mentioned Tales from the Crypt, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Well, and, oftentimes, and I believe this to be true from a lot of the director's standpoint, too, is, the music is almost thought of, it's always the afterthought as far as budget and time crunch, but these directors know what they want, and it's really the icing on the cake to just capture the rest of the feeling that they really wanted. And I've had it times where I'll be watching something with my wife, and I might have heard way more nuances in the score than she did, but say she just said to me, well, I was just scared. So the movie had that effect, which it should have, yet I was deeper, processing what they were doing, that it's interesting. Sometimes people just kind of go, wow, I didn't notice it. And sometimes I've been told that is dynamite, because if it pokes out too much, it's going to take away.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that fine line of where to go with it, when to not have any. But it's interesting and it's challenging at the same time.
And the track that we're going to play before we get out of context like we did before is, of course, one of my favorite movies, and I think this is one of your favorite too for Alan Silverstreet. I don't know, but Back to the Future.
Well, I got to say one thing. Paying homage to the Halloween fans is Dean Cundy, who was the director of photography / cinematographer, who got known for Halloween, turned right around and did all the Back to the Futures. I mean, there's a guy that has been like silent but deadly, who came out of the Halloween clan. So I think that the Back to the Future is a popular. I own the all three of them. I think they're amazing.
Yeah, and if you got a widescreen HD TV, I tell you, the quality is just like going to the theater. I know I do, and I'm sure you probably do too. And you know,
it's wonderful.
Get yourself a nice big widescreen TV with lots of surround sound, and there you go. It's just like you're in the movie again. You know?
Absolutely. And those adventurous types of scores are so fun to be able to emulate. I mean, you're time traveling, so it would almost be as if Alan's boundaries were just endless with what he could do. It was just doing it.
Yep. And we're going to play you that track right now, the Back to the Future theme song by Alan Silverstreet. And then when we come back, we got one last composer, and that's our very own Lance Warlock. And he's done some stuff as well. And stay tuned. We'll be right back.